time, it ain't perfect, but I think it might be better than we found it. What we all want for this province is that it could live up to its motto and its creed. We want a quality of life for every citizen we represent. And may I say this, that previous iterations of government formed by the party opposite can most assuredly answer that question in the affirmative. They left things better than they found them. I can think of the Romano government, who faced almost existential decisions. Well, if you read the former Minister McKenna's book, they were existential decisions. And they were aided, by the way, I'm proud to say, by an MLA for Swift Current, who was a minister in the government, John Kenner, who was on the side of answering those questions in the affirmative as well.
Premier Brad Wall, his final speech in the Saskatchewan Legislative Assembly, live here on 980 CJME and 650 CKOM.
They found them. And so, what did we find when we came into office, notwithstanding the progress that had been bequeathed to our government and to the people by members opposite and their party? But we found some things that we did need to work on. And while I go through this list, Mr. Speaker, please know that I don't think the government's responsible for all the good things that have happened in the 10 years. I'll take responsibility for the bad things, but we're not claiming credit for all of the good things. There is still more work to do. That's another proviso. And finally, I think it's important to note as I litigate this list or the case for the last 10 years that we have a lot of work left to do on both sides of the House. But Mr. Speaker, when we came to office, there was a serious nursing shortage in Saskatchewan, about 1,000, according to Sun, I think. And there was a doctor shortage. And so we undertook to add training spaces and employ more nurses, provide for the budget for more nurses, and now there are 3,400 more nurses of every designation practicing in the province, and that's better than we found it. There are 750 more doctors, and that's better than we found it. But we had the longest wait list in Canada for various reasons, for orthopedic care, and now we have among the shortest because of private clinics in the system and innovation we brought to the system. It is not perfect. People wait too long still, but it is better than we found it. There are significant new healthcare capital projects that this province needed. The replacement or the building anew of 15 long-term care facilities, for example, in Saskatchewan. The North Battleford Hospital. The vision of Walter Scott to have a psychiatric hospital, a mental health center, and it was needing repair and rebuilding and expensive to do it. And it is now under construction and nearing completion, and it's better than we found it. The same is true for the Moose Jaw Hospital. What happened in Humboldt, Mr. Speaker, for a long time, this province was the only province, other than Prince Edward Island, did not have a children's hospital. And so we took some proceeds from a privatization, actually. The government owned part of a fertilizer plant. We decided, well, we don't need to be in the fertilizer business, but we should be in the children's hospital business. And so we used those proceeds, and that hospital will come to completion when someone else sits on that chair, Mr. Speaker. And there's lots more that we need to do in terms of pediatric care in the province. But when that hospital is built, and for that hospital, things are better than we found them. There was support like a seniors income plan that had been locked at about $90 for 16 years, and it's now $270 per month. And it's better than we found it. There are more people in the province who need new schools, and there are 40 new and replacement schools in the province, 25 major renovations. There are more teachers and more support, and arguably more that is needed, Mr. Speaker. But with respect to people with disabilities, and this is close to my heart, there's still a lot of work to do here, by the way, Mr. Speaker, but when we formed government, I remember the finance minister, then social services minister, came into cabinet and said, there's a wait list of people who have intellectual disabilities. Those are the most vulnerable among us. If we are not here to serve them, to ensure that they have what they need, then I don't know why we are here. And And there was a list of 440 of them that were waiting for the dignity of a residents whose families wanted respite care. And the minister said to an agreeing cabinet, we ought to take care of that. Because what is the use of all of the money, the dividends of growth? What's the use of a growing economy if 440 of those who deserve it the most are waiting for these basic things? And Mr. Speaker, I can report to the House that we eliminated that wait list, and now it's grown a bit in certain regions, and there's more needed to be done, but between that and SED, finally an assured income for the disabled, not welfare, but assured income that we've actually added to in terms of resources, not perfection, but better than we found it. In highways and infrastructure, 12,000 kilometers of highways improved. Projects like Saskatchewan South Circle Bridge, St. Louis Bridge, the twinning of Highway 11 and 16, passing lanes, overpasses at Warman and Martinsville. Yes, the bypass around Regina, Mr. Speaker, major infrastructure investments made in highways, but also across our cities with the help of the government and in our crown corporations, and things are better than we found them. Now, Mr. Speaker, it's true that when the crowns are dealing with infrastructure challenges in the billions of dollars, they're going to borrow. That's what companies do. Companies finance these sorts of investments, and they borrow, and so the overall debt, as members like to talk about, has changed from what it was. But there is also an operating debt in the province. That's the credit card, if the former is a mortgage. The credit card is unsupported debt. It's not attached to a crown investment or any asset or any house. It's just like the credit card. And sometimes it's not even got a payment attached to it where it will be eliminated or discharged in a certain period of time. And some of the interest rates on that, by the way, from the 90s are high. And I want to say to the members of the House that I'm proud of the fact, I wish it was even more progress, but I'm proud of the fact that that operating debt is $1 billion less than it was when we took office. 114,000 people that used to pay tax, low-income folks that pay tax, they don't pay tax anymore. They're off the tax rolls, and we have a good debate in this House, I think. Some even now are proposing that we should have the private sector and other employers pay a higher minimum wage, and that might be the right thing. But first and foremost, we should ensure low-income people aren't paying any taxes to the government, and that change has made things better as well. Not perfect, but better. Mr. Speaker, our exports have grown the second fastest in all of the Dominion of Canada. Our overall exports are up over 100%, and that's not the government's doing, but I hope we've set the tone, we've provided more funding to SPEP, and we've engaged through trade missions. Something new to the province, something that really didn't happen before. And now our standing in the world is different today, especially in that part of the world that does want food security and energy security. Our standing in Asia is different on behalf of the private sector and the government. It's also true in Washington, D.C., and this was intentional. This was something that we made an effort to help achieve. And it is not perfect, but it is better than we found it. Population. Mr. Speaker, there are 160, and again, the government can't take credit for this. However, there are certain direct things, intentional things, again, I want to note quickly. 167,000 more people living in the province, many of them newcomers. 90,000 newcomers in the last 10 years to the province from all over the world who are again giving life to our provincial motto and reminding us of our best and earliest days in terms of population growth. Mr. Speaker, I can tell you there are parts of the government program that I think helped. The graduate retention program was applied to by 55,000 young people plus, and they're now living in the province. They chose to stay here. They didn't need luggage for graduation gift as a graduation gift. If they did get it, it was to go on a holiday because they're employed here, and maybe they use the graduate retention plan to help with that. And Saskatchewan, the immigrant nominee program, and we talked about this in question period today, from 97 to 06, the total number of nominees of newcomers, 18,737. We made changes in policy. We did. Intentional changes. 07 to 16, 92,869. And let's make sure that our message on both sides of the House is that every newcomer shouldn't be new for very long. They are our people. They are our citizens. For many people's strength, let's always be the place that makes them feel welcome as we were from our earliest days after 1905. Things from a population perspective are better than we found them. Finally, on attitude, Mr. Speaker, I just want to say it was as if the people of this province decided, almost coincidental to the government getting elected, that they were going to change their attitude. that this province ought not to be kind of looking at the dirt and kicking it around in terms of its future and its potential. The people of this province understood we are blessed with all of these resources and the most amazing people in the world. Why would we ever think anything about our province's future other than that we could achieve excellence, that we could be a leader, that we could provide a quality of life? And so they tried, I think, the people of this province decided to change the attitude, and I hope, colleagues, that we assisted in that. I hope they took some of their signal from what we were doing in government. I remember what was said, you know, and again, I think we need to give credit to the other side, but there was a change that happened on the attitude side, because I remember leaders in this province calling us the we province, and saying that we'll always be in and out of equalization. And Mr. Speaker, there was sort of a mediocrity about all of that. I remember a story being told and sort of held up as the quintessential Saskatchewan story about a canoe race in northern Saskatchewan, where someone was leading the canoe race and felt bad because all the other canoes were behind him, and kind of stopped and waited for everyone to join them so they could all finish second together. With great respect, Mr. Speaker, that is not the quintessential Saskatchewan story, because my dad raised me, taught my mom and dad raised me to know that it's okay to win. Do it with grace, do it with honor, do it in a way so that if you have one, you can maybe benefit others and share in whatever dividends come from that, but it's okay to win. And that's the attitude change that happened in this province. People realize when we lead, when we win, when our economy grows, why there is more money for the disability wait list. And you can reduce wait lists, or you can provide some basic supports for those who are most vulnerable. And I hope that's been the doctrine of this side of the House, and I hope it lasts for a very long time, even on the other side as well. Let us do nothing but dream big for this province.
You're listening to Premier Bradwell's final speech in the Saskatchewan Legislative Assembly, here live on 650 CKOM and 980 CJME.
I will be ever grateful, Mr. Speaker, for those on the side of the House who have helped me, who have shared this with me, given me the opportunity to be a part of an exercise whereupon I can say on a day like today that we left things, that I left things better than we found them. So I thank them for that. I've gotten too much credit for the good things and not enough blame for the bad things. And I'm so grateful to my colleagues and my family. So all of this brings me to another and final transactional moment. When I give up the title as MLA for Swift Current, first made formal by your predecessor 18 years and 1 day ago, or the other title that I gained 10 years and 1 month to the day ago, and I exchanged it for just Brad, with no need to share it with any office or title. Just Brad, the grandson of Peter Lewis Mitchell. And take it to T-shirt. Just Brad, the proud and very thankful son of John and Alice Wall, the profoundly and immensely proud dad of Megan and Coulter and Faith. Just Brad, the unworthy husband of the amazing Tammy Wall. And as it was 18 years ago, I want this trade. I am grateful for it, and I'm excited about the prospects that will follow. I am profoundly grateful for what I give up in the transaction, but I'm even more grateful for what I get back. And of this, Mr. Speaker, you can have less insurance. As for either side of this transaction, what I might give up and what I know that I gain, I have not, and I still do not deserve any of it. Thank you.
Saskatchewan Legislative Assembly. I'm John Wormley. We've been bringing you this live coverage. David Curtin is coming up next. The Green Zone later this afternoon, and a full day, and no doubt more comment throughout the afternoon. And when we return tomorrow, the swan song, at least in the legislature, Premier Bradwell's last day in the Assembly and his last speech. You're listening to 650 CKOM at
up again with the Borgo 3320 quick depth adjustment system. The Borgo 3320 QDA allows you to adjust heating depth in less than 5 minutes and gain peace of mind of a job well done.
Borgo, pursuing perfection.
Young's Equipment, with 9 locations in southern Saskatchewan and online at youngs.ca.
Maybe you expect upward of something like that to rock people, but have you ever had someone lie? Was I ever leaving your home? You can, in minutes. I talk about stuff. Years ago, I gave a chance because my children in my head. I sometimes send this in upward of something like that to rock that have not intention and other schools like that. So trying for you to fill 2 boxes with school supplies, clothes, and hygiene items at taxbox.ca. That's taxbox.ca.
If you want to have your home looked after in the best way and you're looking for professionals to do your work, Handyman is the one-stop shop.
Lois, for Handyman Connection.
Who do you know who's great at this? Because you're looking for somebody who's reputable. Whereas with Handyman, all you have to do is call them. They've got all the professionals. They'll find who you need, and it's done.
20 years and doing it right. Watch for your Handyman Connection by application.
It's great.
352-9900.
Hey everyone, Container Guy here. Inside this big container. A container built to store your stuff. Buy or rent as low as $150 a month. TheContainerGuy.ca. They'll store anything. Classic cars, snow machines, farming equipment. Oh, your old hockey equipment. Weatherproof, rodent-proof, foolproof protection. Call today. 539-9500. TheContainerGuy.ca. We got big cans. Please find your hockey gear. Gross. Cut rainwater here again. I'm so toasty warm, I'm slowed down to my skivvies. You see, my house is cold and drafty, but I went to Woodcut, got myself a mess of orange corn and the lights. Well, put me in